So let's install MongoDB. I'm going to go right here to the browser. I'm going to say MongoDB. So we're going to have this option right here, MongoDB for Giant Ideas. And it's going to be mongodb.com. So I'm going to click on it, and it's going to take us here. So on the top right hand corner, we can have a button that it's going to say download. So we click download, and again, we can have several options. The one we care is going to be the community server. That one is free, the word community. So again, we can have several options. The one we need is going to be Windows Server 64-bit and later with SSL support. So we're going to select that one. Then I'm going to click download, and it's quite large. It's going to wait like, I don't know, 150 megabytes. So that's going to take a while. So I'm going to pause the video, grab a coffee, and be right back. Okay, so everything is ready. So I'm going to click the installer. It's going to give me the run. I'm just going to click on run. Okay, we're going to do next and accept terms. Now it's going to give you two choices, the complete and the custom. We're going to choose the complete. And then of course we will click install. And it's going to ask me if I'm sure. Just wait for it. And yeah, I'm sure. Go. Okay, so it's installing. It's going to take a few seconds. There we go. Almost done. And okay, it's finished. So right, I'm going to click on finish. So now what we need to do two things. First, we need to start the MongoDB server, and then we need to connect to the MongoDB server. So to do this, we're going to open a new command. I'm going to open a CMD, and right here, I'm going to navigate to the root folder to see. So I'm going to say cd / and it's going to take me just right to it. Now I'm going to open the Explorer, and I'm going to go to local disk, program files, and right here inside program files, we're going to have MongoDB, and then server, and then the version, which is the 3.4. So we need to navigate to this location. So we're going to do cd, then program files. Oh, I made a mistake. Let's go again. cd program files. Oh, sorry. Made a mistake again. Let's go back. So again, cd, sorry for that, program, then files, and it's going to be / we need to go to MongoDB / and then server / let's go again, server / and the version is going to be the 3.4, then / again, and we need to enter the bin folder. Good. So now right here, I'm going to say there. It's going to give me a lot of options right here, a lot of executables, and there's of all these options, these two are the ones we care, the mongo.exe and the mongod.exe. So the mongod is going to start the server, and the mongo.exe is going to connect to that server. So now with Mac or Linux, what we can do, we can go to the local disk and enter users and create a folder where we're going to install all this data. I'm sorry, where we're going to store all the databases. So I could do it right here under fur, which is my user. But with Windows, that might cause some problems. So the MongoDB by default uses a default folder inside the local disk C. So for Windows, we're going to do the local disk C. That's going to be the difference. So we need to create a folder that is going to be data. And inside the data folder, we're going to do a new folder that is going to be DB. Right. So now I'm going to go right here and I'm going to execute this mongod.exe. So I'm going to go right here and say mongod.exe and then just enter. It's going to do a bunch of stuff, it's going to take a second, and at the end you're going to get waiting for connections on port 27017. That's good. So if you get this, it means that it's working. So we can open a new CMD. I'm going to do right click and then command prompt. We're going to do pretty much the same thing that before. I'm going to do cd / it's going to take us back, and we need to re-enter to the same location. Again, cd program files / mongodb / server / 3.4 / and bin. So now here we're gonna start, instead of the MongoD, the Mongo.exe. So this Mongo.exe is gonna do something, and then it's going to connect with the MongoD instance that we have right here. If it's not connecting, go back to the MongoD and do Control C. That is actually an error that is happening with Mongo.exe, but you know, it's gonna work. So you're gonna get something like connection accepted, one connection now open, and it's gonna give you the information about your operating system. In this case, it's gonna be Windows, Microsoft, and then whatever. So this means that you're connected. You know, this instance is connected. And right here, you're gonna get a right pointing arrow, just like we get with Node. Whenever we start Node with the REPL, well, this is the same idea. Now we are inside Mongo, and we can run Mongo commands. So, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go right here, and I'm gonna say db, and we're gonna start a database, and I'm gonna say dv.test. That's gonna be the name of the database. And I'm just going to insert some data. So we're gonna do dot, and we're gonna do insert. Now insert, we do open and close, parenthesis, and right here, I'm gonna pass an object. So the object, of course, is gonna be some JSON data. So we're gonna do name, and of course, you guessed it, Francis. There we go. So when I press enter, it's gonna try to insert this record into the MongoDB folder. It's taking a while. So maybe it's frozen. Let me do the Control C again. Nothing happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. So I pressed enter, sorry for that. And it's right result, and we get n inserted and then just 1. This means, of course, that everything went okay, and this record was stored inside our MongoDB folder. So to check it, what I'm going to do is db.test, which is the name of the database, and then .find. So this find method is going to bring all the information we have on that database. So I'm going to press enter. It's going to give me a result, an ID, which is a unique ID that MongoDB is going to assign to this document, and then we have the name and the Francis. So you know, MongoDB is working. Now we're gonna work with servers, and we're gonna be inserting data into the MongoDB database, and doing it from the command prompt. You know, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna use a different tool. We're gonna, of course, use Node, but to inspect everything, we're gonna do it on a different way. We're gonna use RoboMongo. Now it has a different name. It was RoboMongo in the past. Now it's gonna be called something like robo.3t or something like that. But it's the same thing. It's the old RoboMongo. That's fine. If it's working, that's good. If you had any problems, just send the chat right here. Just put it on the Q&A, and I will answer as soon as I can. Let's go to the next section and install RoboMongo.